I know, John, I'm as surprised as you that we're in the playoff final. Well, the problem is the aggregate score over the season against Falkirk is 10-4 to them. So it's going to be tough for us to get through. I would like to get promoted as well. Just need to go and see what happens. Hi there, folks. I'm Nick from SonickFM, and welcome back to Sons of the Rock. This is episode 6, the promotion playoff final. The final is a two-legged affair against Falkirk. As I said in the intro, when I was talking to the chairman, if we go back and look at the schedule, we've not fared well against Falkirk this season. In the first game that we played them, we were at home and they beat us 4-3. The second game that we played them, we were away, they beat us 4-0. And then the final time we played them again at home, they beat us 2-1. So we've not beat them all season. They've scored 10 goals to our 4. We saw in yesterday's episode what they did to Montrose in the semi-final, beating them 8-1 on aggregate. So it's going to be a tough old tie. We are at home first, so we want to go out and try and get a good result. And let's get straight into it. This is the team that we're putting out for that first game against Falkirk. Zabrit in goals, Kitongo, McGeever, Devine and Wardrope at the back, Elito, Frizzell and Carswell in the midfield, Richie Hoysler just ahead on the right, and Crossan and Hanratty are the strikers. Richie Hoysler and Wardrope, condition not the greatest, but Wardrope is pretty much the only player we have in that position, and Richie Hoysler is the best player we have in that position. That's why they're starting. Keep an eye on their fitness levels, and we can make changes as and when required. As we kick off our shot at promotion, I've said it many times before. If we don't get promoted, I'm not going to be overly disappointed. Obviously, it would be nice to get promoted, but the level that we're at and the players that we have at the moment, I don't think we're good enough to get promoted, and if we do, we will struggle. As Falkirk break forward here, and 9 minutes into the game, they make it 1-0. Which is pretty much how I expected the game to go. I think we would struggle if we got promoted at this point. Even if we had a really good summer, I still think we would struggle. So if we don't get through the tie and we don't get promoted, I'm not going to be overly disappointed. What it does mean, though, is my expectations for next season shift slightly. Possibly pushing for that automatic promotion spot, as opposed to just playoffs. As the throw-in comes in and McKeever heads clear, Crossan has it now, and he's breaking away down the left. He's got Hanratty in the box, but he can't find him with a cross. It was a poor ball in from Crossan. And the kick out from the Falkirk goalkeeper, Devine has done well to cut out and find Wardrope. He plays over the top. Kevin Hanratty's through. Can he score? Good save by the Falkirk goalkeeper. They expected Hanratty to score in that position. A good save. Goes for a corner. Frizzell swings a corner in. Can't find a Dumbarton head. It's headed clear by Falkirk, but McGeever has it. And the highlight ends as the attack fizzles out. Throw in now from Wardrope. Gives it to Hanratty. Gets it back from him. Trying to find Crossan with the ball, but it's cut out by Falkirk. And Falkirk have got numbers starting to come ahead now, as Connolly has the ball on the left-hand side. It's inside now with Todd, forward to Tiffany, and Tiffany with a long-range effort, trying to get his second goal of the game, but his shot is wide of the post. To be honest, the game has gone slightly better than how I thought it would. Although we went 1-0 down after 10 minutes, I was expecting us to be, by this point, at least a couple of goals down and struggling in the attacking phases, but looking at the match stats, we're doing not too badly. We're kind of keeping pace with Falkirk a little bit. So I think in this second half, if we can come out and pinch an equaliser, I wouldn't be surprised at that. Although Falkirk do have a corner, as the ball comes in, the header from Hutchinson goes over the bar. The defender there, I think that was McGeever, missed his header. But nothing came of it. A throw in now, and Richie Hostler does well to pick up the ball from the Falkirk throw in and crossing, again breaking forward. He's got Hanratty alongside him, but it looks like he's going himself. As Telfer with a good tackle. Thought there might have been a sniff of a penalty there, but it was a good tackle from Telfer to stop Crossan's attack continuing. And it seems to be Falkirk. They're winning everything and sending it back to us, although Hanratty's get through over the top, and Kevin Hanratty, 30th goal of the season. Even if we don't get promoted, I really want to try bringing that boy back in on loan. He has been absolutely fantastic for us this season. There have been some points where his goals have dried up a little bit, and I was kind of swaying on whether or not he was a good signing. But he has just proven time and time and again how good he really is. Right, 60 minutes in, Richie Hostler's tired, so we'll get McCluskey on for him. And Carswell's not playing well, so we'll get Forbes on for him. And that'll do for now. But yeah, 30 goals is some return for Hanratty. He was the top goal scorer in the league as well this season, by a long way. So, regardless of what happens with this final, really want to try and get him back next season. At the moment, Aberdeen aren't willing to let him come back. As I spoke about before, as Nat Young Coombs is through. Good save from Zabret as we come into the final 10 minutes now. Right, get some more tired legs out there. I only get one more substitute though. Alito's tired, Frizzelli's tired, my full back line is tired. Who is playing the worst? Alito, you're only on a 6.7. Goes Divine and Wardrobe. Divine's booked. Katongo's booked. What I think we'll do is we'll bring Weatherburn in for Divine, just to try and shore up the back line a little bit, get some fresh legs in there for the final 10 minutes. Don't think I can make any other changes now. And Weatherburn's first action is to win the header and get it forward now for Crossan. Crossan plays it into Hanratty. Hanratty gives it to McCluskey. McCluskey trying to find, I think that was Crossan, but Crossan just stopped his run for some reason. And Falkirk are now breaking forward. Kelly has it on the left for Falkirk. Tries to get a ball into the box, but it's well blocked by defender. With Tiffany now, Weatherburn up the head clear. Not the best clearing, so it's with Morrison. As the ball comes back in from Morrison and Tiffany shoots wide. Oh, that was close. Last couple of minutes now. Weatherburn plays the ball forward for Alito. Alito's come inside with it. He plays it out to McCluskey on the right. McCluskey, he's got men ahead of him and men in support, and he uses Wardrobe. Wardrobe with the ball over the top for Hanratty. Hanratty's got men in the box. The ball comes in looking for Alito, I think it was, but it was taken out of there by the Falkirk defender, and it's Young Coombs is through now. And Nathan Young Coombs, he grabs his 9th goal of the season to make it 2-1. Genuinely starting to believe we could get something from the game. Here, just big ball over the top. Young Coombs just uses his pace. One of the problems with our defence is we don't have any pace at centre back. And that's what can happen. Ball over the top. Young Coombs was faster. It's 2-1 Falkirk. It's Falkirk with another highlight. Now Morrison has it and plays it over the top for Tiffany. Tiffany's shot is off the post. I was confused as to what had happened there because it looked like Zabret had carried the ball into his own net, but it was off. Tiffany was offside. So it stays at 2-1. We're still in the tie. We're not out of it by any means. We just need to now go to Falkirk and have a really, really good game. And back now then with the team for the second leg. We have Zabret in goals, Church, Weatherburn, Divine and Wardrobe at the back, McCluskey, Carswell and Gallagher in midfield with Richie Hostler just ahead on the right behind Johnson and Hanratty as the strikers. Few changes to the team just down to fitness levels. Church coming in for Katongo, Weatherburn coming in for McGeever, and McCluskey coming in for Alito, Gallagher coming in for Frizzell, and Johnson coming in for Crossan. All the players that have taken off are on the bench, so we'll no doubt see them at some point. And we'll submit the team and get into the game. Get the game underway then. We said lost 2-1 in the first leg. We do need to have a really good game here. Preferably grab an early goal. A bit like Falkirk done in the last game and could be about to do here. As Tiffany picks up, but Devine does well to cut out the pass and Hanratty's onto it. He's through. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Kevin Hanratty, 31st goal of the season. I love that boy. I genuinely love that boy. That is exactly what we needed. A good early goal. 7 minutes into the game, Kevin Hanratty does what he does best. Gets onto it. Nice little chip over the keeper. 2 each on aggregate now. We've pulled back one of the 2 away goals that we gave up. And 11 minutes in, we have a free kick from Devine. He's played it over the top again, looking for Hanratty, but too much on it this time. The goalkeeper's able to come out and claim it. And the ball's played forward quickly by the goalkeeper, but it's nicely dealt with by the defence. And the ball over the top looking for Denny Johnson this time. Denny Johnson has not scored for us this season. This would be a good time for him to get his first goal of the season, as Young Coombs is through and he levels things up on the night. 1 each, 3-2 now to Falkirk on aggregate, and we're only 12 minutes into the game. Things keep going like this, I'm going to be exhausted by the end of this 90 minutes. Yeah, that is what you call route 1. Straight up from the goalkeeper. Young Coombs gets onto it, breaks through, and slots it home. Not an ideal... I was going to say not an ideal start. It was an ideal start, but not an ideal way to then play the next 5 minutes. We're 15 minutes in now. And I would say, stats-wise, we've probably been the better team. As we have a throw-in on the left now from Wardrop, gives it to McCluskey. McCluskey's pass is poor and it's straight to Young Coombs, who can break forward now. We've seen what he can do with his pace in both this game and the last one. That looked like a great tackle from Weatherburn, but it's apparently given as a penalty. I don't think that was a penalty. However, Tiffany tucks it home to make it 2-1 now to Falkirk, 4-2 in aggregate. I really don't think that was a penalty. I thought Weatherburn made a great tackle. It's not shown as a replay of the tackle, just a penalty. As we're coming in to half time now. Nothing to lose. We really don't. We've given it our best shot. Let's have a look at tactics, because Richie Hostler is not playing well and he is really tired, so we're going to move McCluskey out there and bring Alito on. Adam Devine's picked up a knock. Wardrope is injured, so I think what we'll do is take Wardrope off and we shall move Bongo out there. I don't really want to make all 3 of my substitutions at half time. We'll leave it at that for now and see how things go over the first 15 minutes or so of the half. I just wanted to try and get some fresh legs on. I'm going to encourage the team as well. I've not done much shouting in recent games, but I think the team could use some encouragement. Because, as I said, I don't think we're playing badly. A dodgy penalty is pretty much what's put Falkirk in the lead in this game. As the ball, the corner is headed clear, but Young Coombs has picked it up again. He's got it on the right, but his cross comes to nothing as the highlight ends. Throw in for Falkirk. Young Coombs has it on the right, gives it to Morrison. Back now with Miller and into Alston. Alston plays it back to Hall for Falkirk. Ball forward, but Weatherburn's there to cut it out. The ball is played back forward to Young Coombs, and that was very nearly an own goal. Good clearance off the line from, I think, Weatherburn. Goal kick now from Zabrak, gives it to Devine. Out to Katongo. Katongo with a big ball forward looking for Hanratty and manages to find him. He's still got a lot of work to do. He's got into the box and Kevin Hanratty's just decided to do everything himself. Second goal of the game. 2 each now. If we can grab an equalising goal, a third goal in the match, level up the tie, that would put us in the lead because that would be 3 away goals for us. See, Henratty's first shot is blocked, comes straight back to him, takes a touch to get back into the box, and hammers it home. He's just decided that he's just going to win it himself. Alito loses out on the ball though, and it's Young Coombs that has it now on the right. He's breaking forward and gets into the box. Nobody anywhere near him, and we just can't stop that boy. His pace is just far too much for our back line. We see here, Church is in no man's land, and that means Wedderburn just can't get back quick enough to get to him. Zabret comes out, and he finishes well over the top of him. 65 minutes in, Devine's still injured. He's playing well, but he's struggling with his injury and he's tired, so we're going to bring McGeever on for him. And that'll be our final substitution. Free kick now. McGeever playing the ball forward. Henratty gets up there and wins the header, but there's nobody chasing on to get onto the end of the header. Is it Alito trying to win the ball back, but can't do so. Wedderburn cuts out the pass though. Alston plays the ball over the top for Young Coombs again, who's through once again, and he scores. I think that's his hat trick. He is only on loan at Falkirk, I'm sure. I think we should maybe be looking to see if we can bring him in on loan next season, other than Richie Hosler. I think that just about wraps up the tie for Falkirk. In fact, we're going to switch to very attacking. Why not? As Young Coombs grabs his 4th of the goal. Okay. That definitely puts an end to the tie. 5-2 to Falkirk now, 7-3 in aggregate. But we put up a good effort. Couldn't get over the line. Do I want to say that I'm far from pleased? Because I'm really not. I thought we played quite well. Seemed to motivate them. Oh well, rather disappointing end to the first season. It's not really a disappointing end. We got to the final of the playoffs when we were expected to be a mid-table team. Back then with the end of season review, so we'll have a quick look through this before we end the episode. New signings that came in. Apparently signing of the season is Gregor Zabret. I would have said Henratty, but then he is only on loan, so that's probably why Zabret's got it. And as you can see from this, those two probably been the best two. I mean, these are all the players that come in. Most of them came in before I joined the club. But definitely need to look at some improving our transfer policy. But Kevin Henratty, 32 goals from 34 appearances, 7 assists as well, average rating of 7.3, definitely been the player of the season in my opinion. Though Gregor Zabret, 2 assists and 7.12 is not too bad a rating either. Looking at the results, board expected is to challenge for promotion? No, they didn't. They expected us to finish mid-table. So they expected us to finish mid-table, which we reached the playoffs, and then in the playoff they expected us to challenge for promotion, which we did. In the Scottish Cup, we reached the 3rd round, so we met the target there. In the Betfred Cup, just be competitive, which apparently we were. So met everything we needed to meet in the in terms of objectives. Finished 4th overall. 967 was the average home attendance, 47%. Could be doing a bit better there. 22 goals from Henratty. Moments to remember. Don't really remember them, to be honest. Can't have been that memorable. At the Scottish Championship match against Dumbarton, that was. Finances and reputation. No change to our reputation. No new deals. So 85,000 in sponsorship. Didn't make any broadcast revenue though, even though there were definitely games on TV. 30,000 from corporate and hospitality, 116 for prize money, 37,000 match day. Sold 135 shirts. Alito being the top seller. Interesting. Would not have picked that. Would not have guessed that. But there we are. £2,500 in total merchandise sales. This was pretty much how we lined up. Zabret in goals, Kitongo, Wedderburn, McGeever and Wardrope at the back, Gallagher and Carswell in midfield, Alito, Forbes and Richie Hosler as attacking midfielders, with Henratty as the lone striker. It's a pretty standard lineup. I would maybe say Frizzell rather than Forbes would be starting in there, but okay. Accolades, no awards. Club awards, Kevin Henratty was the fans player of the season, also the young player of the season, Zabrit signing of the season, Medialito with goal of the season, Henratty top goal scorer, Wardrobe most assists, and then Henratty with most player of the match awards, highest average rating, and Mark Gallagher with most passes completed per 90 minutes. I have no idea why that's an award. No competition awards for players either. Broke some records, so Kevin Henratty with the most goals in a match, Brazil with the most assists by a player in a season with 8, so he must have been tied with Wardrobe. 13 clean sheets for Gregor Zabrit, so not too bad a return for him. 13 clean sheets. I think if we can improve the defence in the off-season, then that number will go up. Henratty with 8 Player of the Match awards. Adam Devine, youngest player. Ross Forbes, oldest. Henratty with fastest goal, also youngest goal scorer. And Forbes, the oldest goal scorer. And that is our roundup of the season. So a pretty successful season for us. As we said at the very start, mid-table finish is what the board were looking for. Mid-table is where I would have been happy with. Looking at this as a rebuilding season, at one point I thought we weren't even going to achieve that. But we managed to make it all the way to the playoff final. So a good, positive season, first season for us, and gives us plenty to build on going ahead. And that wraps up episode 6 and the playoff finals. Not the result that we would have liked, but a pretty successful season overall anyway. If you enjoyed the video and the season as a whole, let me know down in the comments, and while you're down there, if you could leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated, and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell to make sure you don't miss any videos going forward. And as always, thank you very much for watching.